little bit. Unfortunately, we've seen another one pop back up again. And again, this is the same supercell that produced the tornado warnings earlier on this evening across a majority there of Garfield County. So still need to be watchful and need to be mindful of this storm. Need to make sure that we're taking our precautions if you live in and around Lake McMurray and also towards Stillwater too. There's our new update. Here's our new area of our rotation. And we'll do a track there. And again, it's moving off to the east at about 25 miles per hour. And so there's, again, a track of what we can expect tornado-wise to get to our area. Again, large hail also associated with this too, but it's moving to the east and about 20-25 miles per hour. So Lake McMurray, it's basically over you right now, which we've been showing you. Stillwater Regional Airport at 11:10. Then you get to Boomer Lake at 11:10 as well. OSU's campus at 11:10. Boone Pickens Stadium on campus there at 11:11. Eskimo Joe's also right there by campus at 11:11. Stillwater itself at 11:15. And then Yost at also 11:15 as well. So again, this is still a night that we are not done with, unfortunately, for severe storms. Tornado warning continues now for us with this latest update with the storm over Lake McMurray until we get to the 11:30 hour. So we've got McMurtry, excuse me. I'm sorry that I've mispronounced that one. So we've got the storm relative velocity continuing to show that area of rotation right over the lake there. And we are still looking at there to be the chance for very large hail in this same zone. I got the new update there as the storm is again passing right over Lake McMurtry. We've got the info notch probably at this point now passing just to the east of it currently. Stillwater Regional Airport at 11:07, Boomer Lake at 11:10, OSU's campus at 11:10, Boone Pickens at 11:11, Eskimo Joe's same time. So we're still watching the storm moving very slowly off to the east at about 15 miles per hour. We know that we do have the storms, the sirens are going off in Stillwater right now as again they are underneath this tornado warning. The bulk of the storm probably is going to be passing just to the north of Stillwater, but again, it's a close call. That's why I want to make sure that we are remaining very much weather aware here. And just going to try to see if we get a better view from a different radar here to get a slightly better picture about how things look. Again, as they're making their way through portions of Noble County and into the portions of Payne County here coming up pretty soon. So we've got, again, the look with our velocity. Yeah, it looks a little bit better there on the other one, so I'm going to go back to that. Again, you can still see that we've got our area of rotation showing up right there over Lake McMurtry, right there and a little bit east of there. And this is the zone that's moving off to the east at about 20-ish miles per hour. So tornado warning again continues for portions of Noble County and then moving into Payne County here very, very shortly. Debris-wise, let's take a look at that. And you'll see that we most likely don't have anything, but I just want to double check here to make sure. So there's Lake McMurtry right there, and do a little bit of a lapse backwards just to try to see if we can see anything. And thankfully, I don't think we do, but still, we've got the potential there. The storm has been rotating now for a long time, and the inflow notch now is making its way now closer to 177. So it's making its way closer now to be basically just north of Stillwater and especially just north of the airport. So here we go with our reflectivity. There's our velocity. Yeah, so the reflectivity notch is showing up there to be quite broad in area right now, but it will be about there, passing on the north side of the city of Stillwater, where we'd have that potential tornado. At this point now, it's primarily east of Lake McMurtry, and it's now making its way towards 177, and eventually Yost too would be down the line. But need to make sure that again in Stillwater, especially if you live on the north side of Stillwater, that we need to make sure that we're taking our tornado precautions right now, heading down to our shelter or to our safe spot on the lowest level of your establishment and getting away from those windows and just the exterior walls too itself, because again, not only do we have that tornado threat with this storm, we also have the chance for damaging hail too, as there could be over 1 inch and 1.5 inch in diameter hail, potentially closing in at 2 inches at times. So we are still concerned about this storm. Right now it looks to be probably a little bit less impressive based on what it looked like earlier on. This is again Vance. So we are now getting pretty far away from all radars at this point, but I still think, though, that actually maybe even Tulsa's radar maybe look pretty good, too, potentially. Nope, does not. So, yeah, we're all kind of in between radars. Technically Twin Lakes will be our best one here. But you can see, again, tornado warning for Payne County. Now, at this point, the tornado would be in Payne County if we're going to see one. Velocity-wise, it's just crossing over into the county right now. And in terms of our area of shear, it's gone down a little bit, which is good. It's kind of a broad area of weak shear right now, so that's some good news. But it is still making its way towards 177 on the north side of Stillwater, so by Boomer Lake and by the airport. We need to watch out for this storm that potentially could produce a tornado. This is our same supercell that has produced the tornado in Enid, and we are looking at this to still have enough energy to keep on spinning. Again, this is a giant supercell, so there's obviously been rotation with it now for a while, but it was able to kind of tap back in to the surface, and now we've gone back tornadic. And we continue for that for the next 31 minutes until 11:30 tonight. Again, for now at this point, mostly it's within the northern part there of Payne County. Currently remains radar indicated, which is good, but it is still going to be a storm that we need to be capable of watching out for because of that tornado potential, but also the chance for golf ball sized hail. Moving a bit faster now, 25 miles an hour. Let me do a new track on things. We'll get that from our area of rotation, so right there. Kind of zoom out a little bit. And again, going to be just off to the east of Lake McMurtry. 25 miles per hour movement takes us to Stillwater Regional Airport at about 11:08, Boomer Lake at 11:11, Yost at 11:18. Notice, though, it may be passing just to the north where my little cone does not pick up on campus, but if it were to pick up on campus, it would essentially kind of be around the same time as Boomer Lake. So you'd be kind of looking at around like 11:11, 11:12 arrival time for that potential tornado to make its way into Stillwater if it continues on maybe a bit more of an east-southeast track. The majority of what we're looking at here is primarily moving due east, so it's more of the northern part of Stillwater by the airport, by Boomer Lake, and by Yost eventually down the line there. So again, tornado warning continues until 11:30 for the storm that is within now Payne County. As I zoom out, you'll see that we've got, that's the only storm that we're currently watching right now. There are additional storms that are down by Lexington, which have not done anything, but they are producing, some lightning strikes. Nothing too problematic right now outside of just some nuisance lightning. But these storms, as you can kind of see, and we'll turn on Vance and do a bit of a lapse here over the past, let's go 30 minutes. You can see that we're still noticing some storm development in Garfield County. So we are still noticing that there might be some additional storms that are going to be trying to form to the west of Enid and may potentially hamper additional recovery efforts that are ongoing in Enid. We really could be talking about more issues there with additional storms, and there might still be additional storms that try to form back off to the west still from there that have not done that yet. So we have to still kind of keep an eye out for that. But again, we're primarily concerned with the storm that we've got in Payne County right now, which is where we do have our tornado warning. You can see that again, that info notch there, pretty much right almost to 177. And I'll go back to Twin Lakes. Yeah, so it's basically right there at 177, north side of Stillwater, right there by the airport and Boomer Lake, with then, OSU's campus and Stillwater itself coming in technically just a little bit south of the actual polygon itself. But tornado warning continues for the next 28 minutes. Radar indicated right now, but at this point, if it's going to be anywhere, it'd be right there where the info notch is, essentially right over 177. And we'll zoom into that area a bit closer. As you can see, you'd be looking at, and even still, our velocity is not entirely all that impressive. Let me go back and take a look at what it looks like from our loop. So there's our tornado warning as it makes its way over Lake McMurtry, and now it's broadened out quite a bit. It's not gone, but it's broadened out quite a bit. But it would be making its way towards, again, 177 there, and then the Stillwater connection, right at that, essentially that junction there, will be where we'd be talking about that potential tornado if it were to occur. There's North Perkins Road there, too, as well. But again, 177 North Washington Street, that is where it is heading now to, just north of the airport right now. Again, there's also going to be a flash flood warning, which is then going to include Perry for heavy rainfall because of the tornado warned supercell that earlier on just dropped a ton of rain. We're going to see additional flash flood warnings there, again, right there, because as you can see, a lot of heavy rain is falling in this zone again. And there we go. We got a new flash flood warning there until 2:15 in the morning. So these flash flood warnings, and we'll probably even maybe see even another one as these storms just continue on farther in this zone. There might be additional flash flood warnings that have to get issued as well because of the fact that we've seen just torrential rain coming in out of these storms. And in fact, it's not only is it a big storm in general, it's also a slow-moving storm too, with these storms moving only between about 15 and 25 miles an hour. That's really about it. So these storms have been moving very slowly, and because of that, they're dropping just a tremendous amount of rain as of this time. Again, the tornado warning continues though until 11:30. We'll take a look at what it looks like with the shear, and you can still see that there is that broad area of weak shear, again approaching 177. As I circle that, that does line up nicely with where all this area of rotation is on our velocity, and you can also see too that it's about generally where it would be your inflow notch, and then potentially a little bit rain wrapped inside of that too. So, but with it being obviously after 11 o'clock at night, it's gonna be hard to see anything out there unless you have the lightning strikes to help you out with. But got that new scan that shows up there. Again, the inflow notch is heading towards more of the Yost area right now, north side of Stillwater. So Stillwater Regional Airport would be right there on the edge. Boomer Lake as well, the northern side of Stillwater, but portions of campus are technically not in the tornado warning, and the south side of Stillwater is not in. Technically downtown Stillwater is not in this either. So you can see that Boone Pickens, the campus, Meridian Technology Center, Couch Park, these are all areas that are within the severe thunderstorm warning, but they're not in the tornado warning. And actually that tornado warning is now gone, or actually they shrunk it, as you can see. So we got a new little update there. They've shrunk it. And that's primarily now for, again, areas north of Stillwater, by the airport. Boomer Lake is just to the north of Boomer Lake. Yost, and then eventually Glencoe will potentially be in line to see that. But again, take a look at what it looks like on reflectivity. The inflow notch is not as well defined, and as you can see with our storm relative velocity, the area of rotation is very broad at this point. So maybe had just one last little gasp before the storm might be kind of really on a downward trend. But again, this is that same supercell thunderstorm that we've been dealing with all evening, and it's just not been able. The storm was so big and had so much inertia with it that you just couldn't totally kill it off fast. So it's not surprising that we continue to see additional tornado warnings out of this, but the overall area of rotation is quite broad now at this point. But still, though, we need to be very careful. Again, we know what the storm was capable of doing earlier on, so it's had a history of producing tornadoes, and in fact, most likely a violent one that we had in Enid, unfortunately, where we're probably going to be looking at some major damage that has occurred by the time we get to tomorrow morning. We could be talking about, again, a major tornado that has gone through portions of Enid as well as Vance Air Force Base from earlier this evening. So again, as you can see, we've got a large severe thunderstorm warning that encompasses this whole storm. There's a ton of lightning with this storm, including, these lightning strikes are getting as far south as Perkins and Langston, Laurie, and it's almost to Guthrie, some of these lightning strikes. So it does show you how far back these, or how far out these lightning strikes are going. And then as you can see, we are still watching by Lahoma and the Ringwood area. Back off to the west of Enid, we are watching additional storms there. Now these are clearly not severe, but over the past 15 minutes, as you can see, they keep on training over the same locations. And in fact, as long as we keep on having crews that are trying to pick up the pieces in Enid there, we do not want to have any more storms in this area. We are looking at another storm that's developing as of this time. So we need all the skies to be clear for our rescue crews because, again, of the fact that we have just a lot of devastation out there at the Vance Air Force Base and the south side of Enid. and the southeast side of Enid. So we really need these storms to go away, but unfortunately we might be looking at more training thunderstorms right now. You can also see right now on the corner of your screen, that is our view from our Cumulus camera looking to the north. Again, all these storms are north of the Oklahoma City metro area. And so, you know, again, we are looking at these storms to really be far away still from us. We also have a few little storms by Wayne and Lexington. You know, these were the storms that we thought actually earlier on this evening that they posed a potential major threat to severe weather for portions of the metro area. There was a chance that these could have been a big deal based on where they were forming in. And then thankfully, the cap actually somehow was a little bit stronger than what we were anticipating in southwest Oklahoma. The actual forecast was that the cap was weaker down there. And so there was a chance for these couple storms to maybe come out of southwest Oklahoma and make their way toward the metro. That's what these would have been. But thankfully, though, they remained, they were warned early on while we were doing our tornado coverage within Enid. But then thankfully, they've been below severe criteria ever since then. But clearly some lightning strikes there, some stuff to watch out for. But clearly, though, we need to remain focused in on our storms that are moving on through portions of Payne County currently. Now, again, as you can see with the latest update that we have as we kind of loop through things, that tornado warning has now really been kind of chopped up as it moves now more to the east and to the northeast. So it's right over, basically would be over the Yost area. If we were to get anything, it would be right there, maybe even just a little bit, technically a little bit west of there, but it would be there and heading to the north and to the east at around 25 miles per hour. Now, thankfully, also, too, got a new update with our tornado warning. The hail has come down in size, so we're up to ping-pong-sized hail, which is smaller than what it was earlier, so that's 1.5 inch in diameter hail. That's smaller than where we were earlier on, so ping-pong-sized hail. And, again, heading towards the Glencoe area at about 15 miles per hour. You're looking at arrival time there in Yost at around 11:12, so make sure we are, again, taking our precautions, getting down to our lowest level, away from the windows. And then you've also got Glencoe down the line, too, at 11:33 arrival time. So 2 areas that we're watching out for within portions of Payne County. This is now, we think, pretty confidently going to stay north of Stillwater at this point now. It's already north of Boomer Lake, which is good. But that's going to go until 11:30, this tornado warning. So we have it for another 29 more minutes, or 19 more minutes, I should say. And again, 11:12 will be Yost arrival time, and then Glencoe, if it's able to go that long, will be for 11:33 arrival time. Again, the hail threat has come down a little bit with the storms too, so it's not as big. As you can see, we are looking at the hail core to be, you know, it's large in size, but it's not really exactly as big as what it was earlier on. In fact, it's at 1.5 inches, which is ping pong size. So we are matching the size of our hail right now, which is good for our product there, showing that it's got an accurate handle on how things are currently going. But again, north of Stillwater, you're looking at that chance for that tornado, as well as also that large hail potential as well, heading towards Yost and also heading towards Glencoe. So this storm remains capable of producing a tornado. As you can see, it's the same one that we've been tracking this entire time. And I'll go back to our reflectivity, and you can see that again, whatever we would see would be potentially rain wrapped at this point, because our area of circulation now at this point is kind of right in here by Yost and then heading towards Glencoe. That's what we'd be dealing with that. It goes until, again, this tornado warning goes again until 11:30 for portions of Payne County and then a little bit of Noble County. But at this point, most of the tornado warning itself is in Payne County. If you're in Bill's Corner or Morrison in Noble County, this is going to be south of you. And if you are in Stillwater, this is to the north of you. In fact, as you can see with our latest update to our polygon, we've got that trimmed it farther up to the north. So it's now farther away from Stillwater proper, which is good. So it's in a pretty rural area, but still, though, areas around Yost and Glencoe need to make sure that we're taking our tornado precautions and getting down to the lowest level away from the windows, as we do expect there to be that potential for that tornado, but also large hail too. That hail threat has come down a little bit. It's now up to around golf ball or ping pong size, which is smaller than golf ball size at 1.5 inches in diameter. So the hail is getting smaller too with that, which is good. But the entire warning itself does continue until 11:15 also. And we have a storm that's back behind it, as you can see. this storm back behind it, which was the one that was over portions of Enid earlier on, that continues for another few more minutes here until 11:15. So continue to track, and again, numerous storms producing prolific lightning. Just seeing all these lightning strikes there shows you how healthy these storms currently are. But the storm itself that we are tracking right here, moving mainly just north of Stillwater and over Lake McMurtry, is the storm that had the tornadoes earlier on in Enid. It's the same supercell thunderstorm. It hasn't moved, as you can see, very far. So this is, again, a slow-moving storm, and we are going to be still watching the storm slowly move eastward over the next little bit. Now, eventually, it'll be moving outside of our viewing area, and then we'll be kind of wrapped up with these storms. But there's a potential that we could see additional storms try to fire up just on the west side of this. As you can kind of see with our overall just kind of time lapse of our storms, you can see that we have a little bit of that trying to occur right now. We've got that little cell that is by Lahoma, and you've also got that storm, that little cell by Parvin area too. So these little cells back behind Enid, moving towards Enid, continue to bubble up, and then we're also looking too by that little cell by the Parvin area, and that one would also just kind of indicate that there might be still some issues with storms going forward as they kind of back build off to the west as everything's kind of sliding southward. So we might be looking at more of an opportunity for storms, let's say, for example, in Kingfisher. Maybe not for a while, but it's definitely a possibility going later on into the night tonight. So we'll be still tracking these storms for quite a while, but again, tornado warning does continue still for portions of Payne County heading towards Glencoe area right now. And you can see that really over the past 15 minutes that this has really kind of fallen apart a bit. In terms of an inflow notch, really not really there very much. In terms of our reflectivity, you can see that it kind of closed up. That velocity really not very impressive anymore, but it would be over the Yost area, and that's why we've got our tornado warning that continues until 11:30. So reissuing the severe thunderstorm warning for the line of storms. So at 11:15, our big severe thunderstorm warning came to an end. The tornado warning continues until 11:30, but we're going to get a new polygon that will pop up here in a moment that will show us, again, that chance for large hail and damaging winds associated with just, again, the big line of storms that is out there. So we'll wait for that to pop back up. We will post we'll go back to reflectivity, and we'll wait for that to post on our system. But you can see just how long the storm line is now at this point. And the storm itself that we've been watching has been moving from the Orlando area through Lake McMurtry and now north of Stillwater in Payne County across portions of Payne County and a little bit there of Noble County. So here we go with our severe thunderstorm warning. It goes until midnight tonight. So it goes for 45 minutes from now, primarily for 60-mile-per-hour winds and then also ping-pong-sized hail. Now, thankfully, there is no tornado possible tag with this storm, so that's some good news. So we might be looking at that tornado threat coming down a little bit, but right now we still have it for another 14 more minutes, at least for us, before it then makes its way into portions of Green Country, where it's then more into Pawnee County and outside of our area. But towards Glencoe, we'll be watching out for that, and then also by West Point, you're not in a tornado warning right now. But if this were to, for whatever reason, get extended, you might be in the next one down the line. But as you can see, even still, Stillwater proper itself remains just to the south of this severe thunderstorm warning that continues until midnight tonight. Because as you can see, putting a lapse on things, it's basically moving eastward, and it's having a really hard time getting anywhere farther south from where it's at. So as you can see, there was a chance that we thought that it might try to trend farther south, just never did. So there's going to be a lot of training with our thunderstorms in this zone. Let's go back to, that's going to be the Marshall area right there. Yeah, Marshall area to Glencoe. This whole corridor is going to be a big-time flood threat for the next about 45 minutes or so, because these storms are likely not going to move very much at all. So that's going to be another problem that we're going to be facing with a lot of these storms. So don't be surprised if we start to see more flash flood warnings also get issued in the same corridor too. In fact, as we take a look at what it looks like with our radar estimated rainfall reports, and we'll go back just, I think 6 hours will be a good just a good idea, and we'll go to advanced because it's where most of our weather has been. This is a radar estimated rainfall over the past 6 hours. We had our tornado warning up in Kay County by Brahman, and you've got these pockets there of about 4 inches, and then again across extremely high amounts within portions of Garfield County, where there's been maybe 4 to 6 inches worth of rain has fallen in these zones there. So we had a tremendous amount of rain that has fallen. And this is the same supercell that produced the tornado warnings in Enid. So the same storm has produced all of this rain too, anywhere from 3 to 6 inches worth of rain across portions of the area. So a tremendous amount of rain has fallen, and unfortunately this is also in the same spots, especially closer towards Enid itself, where we've also unfortunately had at times catastrophic damage from the tornado that was able to develop on the south side and the south end there of Vance Air Force Base. So just a very, very just sad night tonight with damage across. Enid is it's a big city, so we are looking at, again, unfortunately, major impacts to a major population center within our area. Again, the tornado warning itself, though, as you can see, heads towards Glencoe at this point, and now goes until 11:30. So we have 11 more minutes left of that. I don't think we're probably going to be looking at anything bad that will continue. So it's broad rotation, and generally north. The real problem the real area that we're watching for is a small zone right there. It's north of Glencoe, nearby Rambo, and yeah, it's actually the true area of where we have our area of rotation right now. It's actually heading into Pawnee County at this point, which is outside of our area, but it is going to be right there, basically from Glencoe on north, but really north of Glencoe is right where we'd have that best potential for there to be that tornado warning. Right now, basically just on the far northeastern edge of that polygon. So if there's going to be a tornado, it would be there where I've got it circled. But as you can see, it's clearly on the edge, and so the National Weather Service has said that they're going to allow this tornado warning to expire at 11:30. So it'll be able to go down, and then as you can see there's really not much that we can work with there, tornado-wise. So that's good news that it's no longer really going to be more of an impact to us there. But again, heavy rain in the same spots there across a lot of, as you can see, Payne County, portions of Noble County, and then going back all the way into Garfield County still, that southeastern corner of Garfield County. That is also where we have, again, more just heavy rain continuing to fall in these same locations. So again, just a devastating night tonight, unfortunately, for much of the area, especially in and around northern Oklahoma from Enid on north towards the Brahman area. We've seen those 2 confirmed tornado warnings. So the National Weather Service tomorrow will be going out and doing their damage surveys. We know that we're probably going to be looking at the final report to come out of Enid. It'll probably take a while because of how extensive the damage was. But we know that we have extensive damage from the Air Force Base and into some of the neighborhoods on the south side of Enid. And so those are going to just take a while because of the widespread damage that we have seen from this area. We also have, again, that large area, just heavy rain too, that's also falling across portions of this area too. So tornado warning continues for the next 8 minutes for Payne County, but really at this point, the area that we really are watching is on Glencoe and then into portions of Pawnee County, which is outside of our viewing area and technically doesn't even have any warning right now. So what we're going to do, guys in the back, is, this tornado warning is going to expire. So we are going to be noticing that we'll keep an eye on these storms, but we'll go back to regular programming and we'll continue doing cut-ins as necessary. As this tornado warning has actually expired, but the polygon itself won't drop off the map until 11:30, but the threat for tornadoes in this area has gone. So we're going to go back to regular programming, but we'll continue to bring updates with our severe weather as we go into the night tonight, and we'll keep on breaking in case we get any more tornado warnings that we've seen out of these storms. But at least as of right now, our threats look to be coming down just slightly as we approach the midnight hour.